Jay and I are out here just finishing up. We're getting ready for the frost tonight, which is kind of a nice thing because we're setting ourselves up for the next season. We're already jumping into Christmas. Designs were full for November and December, which is super great. I was a little nervous this year just because we had given up some of our accounts and stuff, so wasn't sure where we were gonna fill in the gaps, but they're all full now, which is feeling really good. But Jason and I are working on this little project here. We're just doing some low caterpillar tunnels. This is a really inexpensive way to extend the season for you. So we're just taking you along as we do this. We've used this system for years. Not every year have we needed to, but once you invest in the piping, the bender, Johnny's seed has the bender, and then you just need a little bit of plastic from the like Home Depot or Lowe's. You need some conduit brackets. We used 1¼ decking screws and then some very large U-bolts for the very end. We'll show you how that all goes together here and show you what we're talking about. It's a really easy system. This is gonna take us about an hour or so to do and just get ready for the frost tonight. I moved all the plants that I wanted to save or propagate this year from the front porch and the back porch. I also have just a little salvia that I need to pull out and repot. It's a really pretty one. It's like a light blue and I can't remember the name of it, but it is absolutely stunning. So I'm gonna pull those up and take cuttings of those. As you can see, we're doing like the Synodrenium and all the things that we take normal cuttings off of. Later in the winter, we'll be doing our mums, the cuttings of mums, because we're just in the season of cutting our mums for fall bouquets, which is great because dahlias are ending tonight and then we'll have the beautiful mums starting in. And we'll have those through Thanksgiving generally, depending on how fast we sell them. But generally we'll have enough to make up just some Thanksgiving bouquets. And then we are done until our tulips and anemones, ranunculus start blooming. And generally anemones will start in February. So we have a couple months of break just to do our Christmas wreaths along with our book. So if you haven't gotten our book yet, it's just a really cozy read for this time of year. And we invite you to do that because it does make for a great stocking stuffer or a gift for somebody that's a gardener, loves homemaking, loves the home, loves family life. It's just a really good read. So anyways, that will be linked here as well.
The idea came from Bear Mountain Farms. They've retired since they kind of came up with this idea, but basically we're just copying them. I don't know if they do anything still, but you can go to Bear Mountain Farms on YouTube and you can see the full instruction on how they do this.
Well, like Jason was saying, Bear Mountain has a great YouTube channel. They're very detail oriented, which is really great, but they were the ones that kind of came up with this system. We're modifying it a little bit, and that's how every farm is. You have an idea, you learn something from somebody, and then you modify it to work for you. So we are getting this done. We only had about another couple hours to get it finished up before it gets dark. If you took Florette's class, online class, and I saw recently that she's got a YouTube channel started up as well, so if you don't follow her, give her a follow. She's always been a big hit with flower farmers, and she's got another way of doing things and just a different perspective, different growing zone, everything from us, but she always has really good ideas, and she also taught how to put those together as well in her class. So yeah, it's super easy to do, very inexpensive, like I said, and kind of extends the season very nicely. So I just got 2 fresh pots. These are a little bit bigger than the ones I thought they would fit in. Cleaned them up and just added a little more soil to them. And we'll get them in here. Look at that root. It's just going crazy. I think it will be fine. These propagate really, really easy. This is a salvia, that blue one. So pretty. but it is not frost tolerant for us, so I'm gonna just keep it until I have time to take some cuttings of it. So I'm just gonna get some fresh soil in that around the edges, and I'm gonna tuck it into this little greenhouse here until later when I can deal with just taking some cuttings of it. I would like more of that light blue, would be really pretty, especially in weddings. We would use that quite a bit because there's not that many things other than Tweety, and then we have our delphinium is light blue. We've got a few other flowers that are like that. A light blue of sweet pea. You know, later in the season, this salvia would be really nice, I'm thinking. So I found these two on Craigslist. Someone was, you know, giving them away for fairly cheap. I knew I was gonna have to dig them up. I bought them later this summer, but just having them here in the Vigo garden has been really nice because I just keep an eye on them, and they've grown quite a bit since I got them. So I'll be really pleased when I can get these in the garden and get more starts going. So I don't know if salvia is something you like to grow. What are the varieties? I know there's tons of them, and there's some that I love and some that I don't, but this is one variety. I'll try and find the name and put it here. I can't remember off the top of my head. My brain's very full. Anyways, so it looks like freeze warning. Tonight is 31. Tonight is 31, tomorrow 32, Sunday 32. So we ran into a little problem. The first roll that we had, I'd had for, like, I bought it last year. I didn't think I had used any of it, but apparently we did. So we are short one roll, or just short a section basically. So we're gonna have to run down and grab one. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that tonight or not. We have enough to just kind of lay some on top of the digitalis, and it should be fine. Digitalis is pretty hardy in our zone, so these have been rooting for some time and are a cool flower, but we're just trying to get them covered up, and we'll see how it goes. So, but yeah, I've got to go grab another roll. It's always something on the farm. So after we get the plastic on, we just take some of this baling twine, and because it's raised beds and we're able to use this just like a bracket to hold these in, then we can just kind of lace this through each one underneath the bracket, and that still allows us to be able to lift the sides to ventilate and to also water. So that's kind of cool. And then we just go back and forth, kind of zigzag it to one side to the other, and that goes down all the way. Even in high winds, we do pretty well. Today we had 30 mile an hour winds, I want to say, and these all stayed perfectly down, which is really cool. Every once in a while we have to check on them and make sure that everything is okay. The other thing I have to do is sometimes when it snows, which we here in the Pacific Northwest have a very wet, heavy snow, so it's not that light, fluffy that just blows off. This is extremely heavy. And so a lot of our tunnels and things like that, we have to keep in mind that we take a broom to them and dust them off of any type of snow that kind of accumulates. So sometimes that's the problem with having these, is that you have to get up super early, sometimes a couple times a night, and dust these off depending on whether or not we have a storm come through, which we rarely do here in the Pacific Northwest. Every maybe 5 years or so we'll have a big snow dump that's wet and heavy and gross, and it's not the pretty kind that a lot of people have. We got all of the tunnels done and I'm feeling really good about it. Got our season extension underway, and now it's on to digging all the dahlias. Ugh. Anyways, on to digging the dahlias. I should say that with more positivity. So Riley and Emma tomorrow are going to, after the freeze comes, we're gonna just delve in and actually gonna pull them early. I know some people say to wait about, 7 to 2 weeks or something like that. I don't know. I never do that. Mine are always fine. I don't know why they say to do that, actually. We actually dug them last year before the frost because we needed to get stuff done, and they obviously did brilliant. So I'm not sure who makes up these things sometimes, but maybe like a pro dahlia grower would tell me, oh, this is why we do it. Maybe it prevents, I don't know what it does, so I'm not even gonna speak to it. But anyways, that's our job. Tomorrow we'll be getting those dahlias done. So there are other ways to do this. Like we said, at Bear Mountain, they show kind of the traditional way, using no raised bed box and the little clamps on the side. So it involves using a horse like fence post. It's fiberglass, and we cut those up. We put those in the ground. There's a little bit of drip tape that goes in between with a slip knot. It's a special knot, and like I said, Bear Mountain shows you how to do that. It's really difficult to do. And so that slip knot goes on as well, and then you feed through your baling twine to hold everything down. So there's that method. I like our method just because we do have the raised beds, and it does help secure everything because we do get high winds at times, and that just makes it so that everything kind of stays in place. I have had the other system kind of lift and come off and make a big mess. So if you're in high wind prone areas, there's several different ways to do that, and I'm sure, you know, you kind of figure it out like I have for what works best for our farm.
Today here at Crowley House Flower Farm, we're doing the hard labors.
The hard labor. So this is the job I absolutely hate on the farm, and I dread it year round. And anybody that talks about dahlias, there's a love-hate relationship, as you guys know. And this year, though, it's not so daunting. I forget, we have about 200 plants on the farm. Anyways, so the task is not as daunting as in the years past. So we're just digging out the dahlias this morning. So digging the dahlias, getting them, we're just kind of taking off all the soil for the most part. So sometimes I've stored dahlias with the soil on if I can't get to them right away. Then sometimes leaving some of the dirt on them until you can get to them, like say in January. I've done that before. I've even worked on them in February with a little bit of soil on them, and they've been great. They actually hold their moisture really a lot better, at least in our neck of the woods. I hope you enjoy this video. You're supposed to hold it up.
Happy Halloween. I am holding it. I'm pitching the fork into the ground to get the dahlias out instead of a shovel. It just gets less dirt, works better for some reason.
It's really self-explanatory.
You dig them, you store them.
Well, you have to cut the tops first.
Yeah.
You dig them up. I'm coming behind Riley and I'm getting all the dirt off because you don't want to go back next year and find this huge bucket of
Clay.
mud and clay. So we try to get most of the dirt.
Sorry.
Try to get most of the dirt off, and then yeah.
Look, I'm really tired. This is like the thing about this time of year is it's actually the worst timing to be digging dahlias because I just want to go to bed. All I want to do is sleep and read a little book and cuddle.
Today is a great day.
It's
It is
sunny. I'm a little sweaty.
It was really cold this morning.
Very cold.
You want to cut down further so that you don't have a hollow base. And it looks like that. clean this up. It's looking ready to put into our crate. But as you can see, it's hollow, and we don't really want that because bugs can go in there and hibernate and create havoc. So we cut it down so that it is not hollow anymore. It's ready to go in. It's really important when you are pulling all of these that they're all labeled. Every year, it seems like we have issues with this. A label gets lost. We always have a crate when we're planting out that we're like, what is this? And then we get random things. So if you want your field to look very cohesive and you want to put like dahlias in the same spot, make sure that every year you label really well. Maybe even take photos of the label and the flower. I actually have an album on my phone from last year because we had so many. I didn't do it this year because it's a lot more manageable. And it has a picture of the dahlia and the label next to it. So then the next year, which was this year, I could look at it and see a lot better. But we still got a few, mixed up. It wasn't super messed up. It was just like a few that were in a random spot. And that happens as well. I don't know. If there is a year that we don't mess up, we'll let you know. Hasn't happened yet. But we try. We try to do better every year.
The Synodrinium, you can tell, just got a little burnt on the top, still going, but it doesn't look very good for sure. So as you can see behind me, yesterday the girls and I finished digging all the dahlias. The four-wheeler wasn't working, Jason was gone, so we had to leave them here in the field. So we just decided to go ahead and tarp it all because we had rain coming. And not that that's a big deal for dahlias, but the cooler temperatures at night and everything, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna tarp them. That's just gonna make me feel better. And then as soon as I can get the four-wheeler running, then we can pick these dahlias up and get them out of the field and stored away. It's such a good feeling to have this field pulled out. So now all I gotta do is pull up the drip tape. We've got some walk path with some fabric down. And so what I'm gonna do actually is just kind of turn the fabric over. We'll probably do that in the next couple weeks. We're kind of busy with some big weddings. Oh my gosh, I always think that I'm gonna get a break and I just don't. So it's kind of one of those things where we have a couple big weddings coming up. One of them is in actually Seattle. So we're gonna be going up to Seattle to do the wedding. Riley and I will be doing that in a couple weeks actually. And then we're jumping right into Thanksgiving weekend. And that is a big weekend for us. So Christmas stuff until around December 13th. We're just like all Christmas. Love it. So yeah, super glad that we got this done before that big rush of Christmas holiday stuff. I'm just gonna let these tubers sit actually in the greenhouse undercover for a couple of weeks. I'm gonna get them washed up, cleaned up, divided up, put away, all the things, but that's gonna be a winter job when we're just kind of lulling a little bit. So I have so many other projects going that's just gonna have to wait. So that is what it is. But anyways, until next time, much success in all you do and grow. And we'll be seeing you shortly back here at Crowley House actually with a wedding. We're doing a fall wedding next week. So we'll be bringing that to you and it'll be super beautiful, beautiful, beautiful inspired palette. I think it's peach yellows, like butter yellows, creamy, a touch of blue, and just lots of fall leaves and textures. So it's gonna be super pretty and I can't wait to show you guys. So anyways,